Well, what's happening, everyone? Um, um, as you can probably tell, I'm quite frustrated at the minute. But yeah, I'm just gonna give my post-match reactions to Liverpool's defeat to Manchester United. First of all, I'm gonna say, um, congratulations to Man United. I'm not gonna say they definitely did deserve it, but Liverpool got what they deserved, if that makes sense. Um, And what I mean by that is, I just felt Liverpool were far too complacent and far too passive, especially in the second half. Man United were firmly on the ropes, and a team with a real killer instinct would have easily punished Manchester United. Um, and yeah, as I say, Liverpool got what they deserved for being far too passive. And as I say, congratulations to Man United. They hung in there. Then Anthony got his goal. And then, obviously, it was 2-2 at full time. And the extra time was a bit messy all for both teams, but Liverpool got a fluky goal. And I thought maybe that had it been like the G up that the team needed to then strengthen the team and not make the same mistakes, but they just got worse and worse and worse. The decision making was awful, and obviously Nunez made a mistake and Rashford got his goal, and then the real sucker punch at the end from a Liverpool corner. Total mess up between Elliott and Endo. And then obviously Ahmad Diallo scores the winner. And as I say, congratulations to Man United. I don't think they'll go on to, it's not sour grapes in my opinion. Um, I don't think they'll go on to win it. In a way, I don't really want City to win it because they could do back-to-back trebles, and it's just like, I don't think they've really done much to warrant winning back-to-back trebles. So yeah, but yeah, that's to say, congratulations to Man United. But obviously, the focus of the video will be more on Liverpool's. I hope it doesn't derail the season, and what I mean by that, confidence is a big thing. And even though Liverpool drew against Manchester City last week, I think the performance in that game actually gave the team a lot of confidence moving forward. That they can win all the trophies. And today, I think, is a setback. I just hope it's not a fatal blow in terms of confidence. Only time will tell, to be honest. I do think the international break has come at a good time, though. Hopefully, I've heard stories about, I don't know if Klopp has said Nunez may be injured, Gakpo's injured, and Diaz may be slightly injured, but hopefully it's just all talk. And after international break, they'll be back, and much more players will be back, like so Trent, Jata, Gravenberch. You know, he was on the bench today, but Curtis Jones, yeah. So get more players back's key, and it's a massive match next game. It's huge now, especially after, as I say, the deflating result today at home to Brighton. It always was a must-win, because of the manner that Liverpool. I know Arsenal's top on goal difference, but Liverpool is still top. Do you know what I mean? And with Arsenal playing City, it always was a must win against Brighton. They're almost wins, but now the context has changed. It's an even bigger game than it already was for Liverpool's mental side, mental aspects. I think they need a win to pick themselves up. So yeah, that's not aspect. But regarding the game itself, I'm gonna, before I do my player ratings, I'm gonna get into just my general opinions on it. And as I say, um, really disappointing. The main disappointment of the match, in my opinion, was the fact that the attitude. It's not once this season have I not liked Liverpool's attitude, apart from today. I thought they were far too cocky and complacent. Not going for the real, like, United stroke. Like, Liverpool were pounding away against Manchester City last week. That's what they should have done. United were on the ropes. Liverpool needed to have the killer instinct and go and finish them. I just didn't like the attitude. The players have come in for a lot of praise this season, rightly so. But I thought today it was a real disappointment. And as I say, I'm not taking anything away from Man United whatsoever, but I do think a lot today was down to Liverpool's own making. Klopp's decision making as well has to be called into question today. Subs never worked whatsoever. They were probably the wrong subs, but they never done anything towards the game. They never brought anything really. I know Elliott scored, but I thought he was very poor. It's just my opinion. Other players on the bench, like I know Dans is young, and I know he had a concussion recently, but I don't know why he never got minutes on Thursday against Sparta Prague, and I don't know why he didn't even come on today. To be honest, as I say, I know a lot of people will be jumping on Gakpo because his performance was awful, but even without that day's performance, I thought Dans has really brought something extra to the team, a bit of pace, a bit of the unknown, and he was confident as well. 3 goals in 3 games and an assist. I don't know why he hasn't got any minutes, but yeah, I thought Klopp's decision making was very poor today, and again, before I get into my team ratings, I'm also going to talk about Michael Edwards being there. Obviously, it was a great boost to see him named as the CEO of football for FSG, practically putting him in charge of Liverpool, running Liverpool. I know there is a sporting director due to be announced. It'll apparently be that guy from Bournemouth, Hughes. But I do think, obviously, Michael Edwards is going to have a huge say in Liverpool. He's going to appoint the new manager, whoever it is, whether it's going to be Alonso. I'm not going to get into another video on this, but this is probably another topic for another video, sorry. But my preference is actually not Alonso. I just think, even though he's been brilliant, I actually do want... I'm not totally against Graham Potter. To be honest, I do think he warrants another chance, but probably as it stands, I probably would want Sporting Lisbon's manager, Ruben Amorim. That's just my preference, because I do believe the sporting director role was more important than a manager, and it will be moving forward. So yeah, I do think Liverpool needs more of a coach now, and the sporting director's the guy in charge of signing the players. I think that's the way football's going, and I think that's the way Liverpool's going. But yeah, Michael Edwards was there today, and it'd be interesting what he thought of the actual match. Seeing some of those players there, maybe some players who's past their best. Again, I'm not going to mention names. For me, the Saints have been there for quite a while. That certain players are getting towards the past their best, amazing servants for the club. And then there's other players there who are good, but I don't think they're that good, and maybe you could probably cash in on them. So it'll be interesting to hear people's opinions on that and what you thought Michael Edwards actually thinks of it. But yeah, regarding the player ratings, in goal, Kevin Kelleher, I know people will probably say he maybe should have done better with the last goal. Maybe he could have, maybe not. He did concede 4 goals, but I actually thought he had a decent game overall. I'm going to say a 6. 6 for Kelleher. Left back, Robertson. Thought he did okay, but I just think he's a bit wasteful on attack. He steps back too much nowadays. And I thought it was quite wasteful. Can't really fault him that much. I'm going to say 6 as well. Van Dijk, can't really think of much he did wrong, to be honest. Again, obviously it wasn't his absolute best game, but I can't think of much he did wrong. 6. Quensa, again, probably an extra time, maybe struggled a bit, but he had a big part in Liverpool's first goal. So I'm going to give him a 6. Joe Gomez, I thought, struggled a bit, especially when he was in the first half. He had a brilliant season, but I'm going to say 5. Thought he had a poor game, especially first half. But yeah, 5 for Joe. In midfield, McAllister. I thought he was pretty poor the first half, to be honest. I love McAllister, but thought he was poor in the first half. I know he got the goal, but I thought he struggled in the first half. Far better in the second half. But yeah, 6 overall. Endo, love Endo, but I thought he struggled. Especially in extra time. Second half, the whole team was good, but they were too complacent. Because he was sort of at fault for the first goal, or sorry, the last goal. I'm gonna say 5. Sabosloy never really did much. I know he had a shot. I think he's sort of Liverpool's still sort of struggling to find his true position. Like, I think we probably won't see the best of Sabosloy until the new manager comes in. Like, I personally feel Liverpool has a lot of players that would suit a 4-2-3-1, and Zabozlai would be one of those players in the 3. Like, so I don't think we'll see the best of him, but yeah, I think he struggled a bit. So I'm going to say 5. Up front, Salah. I know Salah scored. I thought he was very poor. Very wasteful. Just for his goal, I'm going to give him a 6, but I think that's been a bit kind, because I did think he was pretty poor, to be honest. Wasted a lot. Nunez probably was the best of Liverpool's attackers. Got an assist, but for that mistake for the third goal, it will knock a lot off his points. I'm going to go 5. Probably a bit harsh, but I think it was that bad of a mistake. It probably deserves it. Luis Diaz, what can I say? Infuriates, but exhilarates. Infuriates in the aspects he holds on to too much, but is also an outlet at times. I do think players could have passed it to him sooner, but overall struggled. I'm gonna say 5. Now's probably the harsh bit. Probably isn't harsh, but I'm gonna say it. The subs. First of all, Bradley. Maybe unlucky not to start. I would be starting Bradley, but I thought he had his poorest game when he came on. I thought he really struggled. I'm gonna say 4. Harvey Elliott, I know he scored, but was awful. Absolutely awful. 4. I know he scored, but was at fault for the third goal. You could argue maybe Endo, but was atrocious. I don't think he done much at all when he came on. I know he got the goal, but it was a fluky as hell goal. Yeah, 4. Cody Gakpo, 2. I know people may say I'm very harsh here, but I'm going to give him 2. Utterly awful today. Honestly, decision making, very poor. Holding on to the ball, very poor. Like, there was numerous times the ball was played into him, and he was far too slow that allowed the Manchester United player to just come in and tackle him. And it was real dangerous situations for Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? They just needed the right pass or the right bit of skill, and there were 3. By far, Liverpool's worst player today. 2. I'm sorry for being harsh. And I really like Gakpo. Again, he's probably one like Szoboszlai, where I think maybe will be better under a new manager, because I'm not necessarily sure he's getting played in the right position. I would like to see him given a real role, or a real run as left-sided. And if he doesn't do it there, then it's probably time to cash in. But yeah, 2. And Clark, it's not applicable really, because he never had much time. Oh, Simicus, I'm gonna say 5. Never had much to do. Never done much wrong. 5. Jurgen Klopp, I'm gonna say Jurgen Klopp deserves a 5. Had his poorest game tactically and managing the team for a while, in my opinion. You could argue the starting lineup was wrong. Like, I personally would have started Joe Gomez left back and Bradley right back. That would have been my opinion. No real arguments up front. Maybe Elliott instead of Szoboszlai. Maybe he's the only one. But yeah, the rest of the team okay. And obviously Liverpool, probably the main gripe with Klopp today was the management of the game. Liverpool went 2-1 up, and I don't know whether it was an instruction of the team to just hold on to the ball and just pass it about, but the dilly-dallying over it, been far too passive, been far too complacent. I don't like it. It sends out the wrong signals. So I think putting Harvey Elliott and Gakpo and whatever on sort of disrupted the team's flow. I'm not sitting saying Salah should have been taken off, because for me Salah was poor as well. But I think maybe a better substitution would have been somebody like Gravenberch, because I think Liverpool were controlling that game, but more control would have been only a good thing. Yeah, so I think like a centre midfielder should have been brought on, especially extra time. Like I think when Liverpool went 3-2 up, that was the time to bring on Gravenberch really, or even Clark at that time instead of Simicus. Like I don't know if Joe Gomez was completely burnt out. I don't know, but I think just straight for swap at that stage was the wrong decision. But yeah, I don't know what anybody else thinks. Obviously, it's hugely disappointing. There's no ways about it. Good luck to Manchester United moving forward. But Liverpool do have bigger things to fry. But I just hope this doesn't derail the season. It's important to be brave. Go at teams full throttle. If you lose, but not like today. Not been too passive. Full throttle football. The way it was against Manchester City. Liverpool didn't win the game, but I came out of that game buzzing at how the team played. I'm not going to get into the penalty. That's another story, but I was buzzing in a way after the 1-1 because of how we played. We made Man City look pretty average, and that's not easy to do. But today, it just wasn't like a typical Liverpool performance, especially under Klopp. Far too passive, too complacent. I don't like it. But yeah, it's out of the way now. If you were to ask me prior to the match which game you rather would have won, that game today or the game in a couple of weeks at Old Trafford, easily the league game. So, and that's not being a hypocrite. I wanted to win both, but if I had a choice, I would say the league game. The Europa League and the Premier League was the bigger of the two trophies. Obviously, I wanted to win them all. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. It's massively disappointing, but Liverpool's still in a great position. I just hope this result doesn't derail the season. What's everyone else's opinions? But yeah, thanks for joining in.